मातरम, वंदे मातरम, सुजलाम सुफलाम मलयज शीतलाम शस्य श्यामलाम मातरम, वंदे मातरम, शुभ्रज्योत्स्नां पुलकितयामिनीं तुल्यकुसुमिता द्रुमदलशोभिनीं सुहासिनीं सुमधुरभाषिणीं सुखदां वरदां मातरं, वन्दे मातरम्। कोटि कोटि कंठ कलकल निनाद करले, कोटि कोटि भुजै धृत खर खरवाले, अबला अनुमारक बोले, बहुबलधारिणी नमामि तारिणी रिपुदलवारिणी मातरं, वन्दे मातरम्। तुमि विद्या तुमि धर्म, तुमि रिधि तुमि मर्म, त्वं हि प्राणाः शरीरे, बाहुते तुमि मा शक्ति, हृदये तुमि मा भक्ति, तुम्हारी प्रतिमा गढ़ी मंदिरे मंदिरे, वन्दे मातरम्। त्वं हि दुर्गा दश प्रहरण धारिणी, कमला कमल दल विहारिणी, वाणी विद्यादायिनी, नमामि त्वां नमामि कमलाम् अमलाम् अतुलाम् सुजलाम् सुफलाम् मातरम्, वन्दे मातरम्। श्यामलां सरलां सुस्मितां भूषितां धरणीं धरणीं मातरं, वन्दे मातरम्, वन्दे मातरम्।
भारत माता की जय।
Thank you, everyone. First request, kindly stay muted. Whenever you are asked to, you may please unmute and talk. I'll do one thing. I'll mute everyone now. Thank you. Before we get on to the session, Top League Trading and Business Consulting, along with Bharatiya Janata Party Economic Cell Coimbatore, takes pleasure in welcoming each and every participant today for this wonderful evening. We're going to have a wonderful session. But before we get on to the session, we have a special person to address us, Sri Raja Venkatraman. He is a native of Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu, and is a product of PSG group of institutions. He is a hardcore marketing person who has led many multinational companies in India and abroad, and he is somebody who has traveled across the world extensively. Some of the positions he has held were marketing head of Xerox for Middle East for nearly 15 plus years. He was vice president of SR Hutchinson and later which became Vodafone. He was national head sales of THL Worldwide Express for India and national head of Reliance Infocom. Sri Raja Venkatraman is an avid biker and a birding enthusiast who loves to travel and be amidst nature. He also has a special love for watches. That's a really good interest, not so common. After spending many decades overseas under the commercial capital Mumbai, Sri Raja Venkatraman returned to Coimbatore, his hometown, to settle down along with his wife and daughter. May I request Sri Raja Venkatraman to give a few words, please? Kindly unmute, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yeah, that's a great intro, Durga. I think you have brought in some aspects of myself which I'm hearing for the first time. Very thanks a lot. Really pleased. First, let me start by saying many thanks to BJP EcoCell and Sri Arun Subramaniam for putting this wonderful initiative together. And I should thank Manoj Rajagopal. It's only about 2 days back. He touched base with me, and all I know is today I'm in front of all you all to share some of my thoughts and views, and also to listen to some very nice presentation from Sri Arun Subramaniam. Thanks once again. $5 trillion target. It's a very nice target to have, and the government is doing everything possible to make this target achievable. Every other day, we see in newspapers and in TV medias that newer initiatives are being pumped into the marketplace.
Please unmute yourself, Mr. Raja. It is muted. You are muted. Please unmute yourself.
Okay. Let me start all over again. Okay. Thanks, Durga, for a nice introduction. That was very nice of you. Really pleased. And let me take this opportunity to thank BJP EcoCell and Mr. Arun Subramaniam for putting this nice program together. Thanks to Manoj Rajagopal, a good friend of mine for many years. Only 2 days back, he spoke to me about this, and all that I know today is there is a great opportunity for me to be part of this illustrious group. $5 trillion economy. It's a nice target for all of us to aim, and I'm very pleased that the government is putting everything possible in terms of resources, in terms of skill sets, in terms of programs, in terms of whatever assistance is required from time to time, which are helping the industries to rapidly ramp up. Having said that, I think we are slowly in the recovery mode. Of course, there are some places where we see some more challenges coming up, but overall, it looks like things are back on the rail. There are green shoots. I live in a community in my neighborhood, which consists of a lot of small and medium enterprises. When I speak to them, they're quite upbeat in terms of the opportunity they're getting in business. And some of them say that they have done as much as they would have done for a full year. So that's a good sign. Large industries are putting their strategies together, deploying the resources, and ramping up their activities. Nice to see automobile industry, which is a good indicator in terms of where the economy heads. Hero Motors has done extremely well during this festive season. Motorcycle sales gives us a little bit of indication of what happens in the rural side of economy. If the rural side of the economy ramps up, I think the engine for growth is going to be in a good shape. So it's nice to hear those things are coming into place. Having said that, I think we need to put a lot of emphasis on the small and medium enterprises. It's the small artisans, it's the small weavers, it's the small potters, it's the small tradesmen who are back in the hinterlands, who are working in the villages and things like that. We need to support them with all the resources that we could in terms of helping them. Only if they grow, only if they start making money, if they start investing in their own little businesses, we can see the larger engine galloping and getting towards this $5 trillion target. I see a lot of opportunities for us to support this. Each and every one of us can support this target set up by the Prime Minister. If we all put in our efforts to buy more and more of products made in India, I think it's going to do a lot of help. And if we all put in our efforts to help the small little craftsmen, industries, traders in the back homes and in small villages and things like that, it's going to gather momentum and help us move towards this $5 trillion target that we have set for ourselves. I'll give a small example. Just a couple of days back, I found out that there's a very, very good brand of men's garments made in my hometown of Coimbatore. And I tried it for the first time. The quality is as good, if not better, than some of the large multinational brands. The product quality is good, the packing is very good, the pricing is superb, and the quality of service they render is outstanding. So if we all look for these small things that are available in our local markets, I think that's going to do a lot of help in terms of ramping up our economy to this $5 trillion. We all can do our bit. I'll only be too pleased in wherever opportunity arises for me to chip in and contribute in terms of this nation building activity. With that, I would like to thank once again BJP EcoSale, Manoj, and Sri Arun Subramaniam for putting this program together. Now, I'm going to sit back and watch this presentation that's going to unfold. Thank you so very much. Thanks once again.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words and great insights. It's really pleasing to hear you. Thank you so much once again. Well, let's get into the program. And before that, I have to introduce the speaker of the evening. The speaker for today's evening is, he has been in senior management for over 30 years at several leading companies. He has built and managed organizations in the face of significant regulatory, technological, and industrial change. These experiences have given him a ringside view of the shifting paradigms in the business world and the strategies that need to be employed to address them effectively. Having built multiple high-performing teams from the ground up, he has an unmatched understanding of leadership and teamwork and the importance of these two attributes for success in the corporate world. Over the last 30 years, he has conducted over 60 management development workshops featuring professionals from varied industries in areas such as team management, performance enhancement, change management, innovation in business, strategic decision making, brand management, employee engagement, negotiations, and conflict resolution. As a business strategy expert, Mr. Arun mentors business leaders and entrepreneurs to help and guide during these difficult times. To top it all, Mr. Arun is the managing director of our company, Top League Training and Business Consulting. He's a multifaceted individual with over 4 decades of experience, my dear friends. Please take use of this opportunity. Over to you, Mr. Arun. Please continue.
Thank you, Mr. Durga Prasad. Thank you for a wonderful introduction. I thank each and every one of you from whichever part of the country you may have come for giving this evening to me. A Sunday evening is a very precious thing, but you have decided to be with me and spend this time together. I'm very thankful to you. And I assure you that I will leave no stone unturned to ensure that your Sunday evening does not go to waste. Thank you, Mr. Manoj Rajagopal, for supporting our endeavor to take, the business strategy essentials to business people, aspiring entrepreneurs, corporate leaders, and business leaders, because that is what is needed to take the country on a growth trajectory. Thank you, Mr. Raja Venkatraman, for your very insightful speech. I will bear what you have said in mind and see how best to incorporate it into whatever program I conduct so that everybody can benefit out of it. After thanking you all once more, I would like to begin the story of the journey called Value Proposition, the secret ingredient for success. The story of value proposition begins in my life from 1985. Now, let me ask you a simple question. How many of you recognize this place? This is a very, very, very important and very popular city from our country. This is a very popular street of that city from the year 1985. Can any one of you recognize this place? Can I see any hands going up, please?
You may please unmute and
answer, please. Yeah. Can you recognize this place?
Chennai Mount Road.
Huh?
Chennai Mount Road.
Mumbai, Mumbai VT.
Who is this? Please tell me your name so that I will know who it is who is guessing.
Srinivasan from Chennai.
Oh, so Mr. Srinivasan, you say this is Mount Road of 1985. Who was it who said Mumbai VT?
I said Mumbai. Srinivasan says Mumbai.
Rafael
Okay.
said Chennai Mount Road.
Okay, Rafael said Chennai Mount Road. Anyone else, please?
From Bangalore.
Who is it?
My name is Ramya.
Ramya, you are right, Ramya. This is Bangalore. Can you name the street?
Brigade Road.
Absolutely right. You have hit the nail on the head. This is Brigade Road, Bangalore, 1985. At that time, Bangalore was a quaint little place where people used to go after they retired. It was heaven on earth like Pune. Then something happened in 1985. Texas Instruments opened their office on Sona Towers Millers Road and started the era of ITization of Bangalore. Today it is known as the IT capital of the country. This is another landmark of Bangalore of that time. This is the High Point 4. This, on the right-hand side of that brown building, there used to be a very, very famous restaurant. It used to be called Chinese Hut. It was extremely used to be crowded. It was one of the very favorite places where people used to go for a sumptuous lunch or dinner. Lunch normally used to be Chalukya's offering. You can see Chalukya right next to it. Along with Woodlands Hotel, Chalukya was a very famous restaurant, the hotel of that time. Chinese Hut used to be very crowded always, and I was a regular patron there. I used to be working in Bangalore during those days. And then the ITization started. People started coming from various parts of the country to Bangalore. And as more and more Bangalore became a cosmopolitan city, more and more multi-cuisine restaurants started coming, and Chinese clientele started reducing. In 1998, when I was leaving, at that time I was a chief executive of a pharma company in Bangalore. When I left Bangalore for my new assignment in Chennai, maybe, we were just a couple of handful of people who used to, patronize Chinese Hut. On 25th of March, 1998, I and my family went to Chinese Hut because the next day morning we were all leaving Bangalore and everything was packed. We went for dinner. And as we were having dinner, the proprietor of that restaurant, who was an old friend of mine, since I had been patronizing his hotel for so long, he came and he expressed regret that I was also leaving Bangalore. Then out of the blue, he asked me, "Sir, you've been a marketing man all your life. Why don't you tell me what it is I can do to pull my restaurant out of the rut it has gone into? The way it is, I think we will not be able to survive." I knew nothing about restaurant business, so I did not want to venture anything. But then I was very insistent that said, "So please share some ideas with me. Let me see if it helps." Then I told him that, okay, I don't know anything about restaurant business, but still, I will hazard a suggestion. I asked him, there is one particular branch of mathematics which is used extensively by marketing people. I asked him, have you heard, this was the Chinese Hut interior and the menu card. Then I asked him, it was a very normal sort of a hotel at that time. I asked him, have you heard of the term combinatorics? He said, no, I have not heard. What is this? By the way, friends, how many of you know what is combinatorics? Have you heard of it? Yes? Do I see any hands going up? Have any one of you heard combinatorics and how it is used in marketing? Combinatorics is that branch of mathematics involved in the combination of things. Let me explain to you. When the order of something doesn't matter, it is a combination. For instance, you take 4 apples, 3 pomegranates, and 2 sapota, cut it up, mix it, and make a fruit salad. It really doesn't matter whether you cut the apple first or the sapota or the pomegranate. It still will become a fruit salad. Then it is a combination of fruits leading to a fruit salad. But the same 4, 3, and 2, if used in a combination lock, unless it is used in the order it was fed in, it will not work. That is known as permutation. I explained this to him. He asked me, sir, how is it relevant to the business that I'm doing? I'm unable to understand what relevance combinatorics has to a restaurant business. I told him, look, combinatorics does not have any particular reference to restaurant business, but it has a reference to customers. He said, how? I said, you see, customers have certain decision drivers. Every industry has certain decision drivers. Let's see, what are the decision drivers for a restaurant industry? The drivers are the queue sign, the timing, the ambience of the restaurant, the service provided there, the reach, what is the catchment area it services, what are the value-added services which it gives, and finally, what is the price of the menu, the offerings. If you mix all these things up, it is just a combination. It doesn't make much of a difference. But if you divide it into 3 categories of regular, deluxe, and premium, something extraordinary happens. You could have a regular queue sign in a regular timing with a premium ambience, extra service, value addition. You could change the reach. The prices could be different depending upon the timing. All these sort of combinations, when you bring into it, then what happens? You have 2,187 different combinations possible. I told him, you do one thing. For the next 2-3 months, do an intensive survey with your customers and then see how you can change these based upon the time, the place, the person, and see if there is some way you can improve your offering and the experience of the customer. The dinner ended that day. We had a bit more of chit-chatting here and there, and we left. I left Bangalore. It was nearly 12 odd years before I went back to Bangalore. In 2011, I had an opportunity to go to Bangalore for a meeting, and my team members suggested that we go out for dinner to a restaurant which was very famous for its Peshawari food. They picked me up from my hotel and we landed up in that restaurant. And this was that restaurant. Chinese Hut, 1st July 2011. I was shocked. Chinese Hut, to the best of my knowledge, was a restaurant which used to serve Chinese food. Now here, my team was telling that it is serving Peshawari food. And the ambience was totally different, mind-blowing ambience. I thought maybe it has changed hands. Someone else has taken and has maintained that name. We went in, we had dinner. As we were having dinner, as dinner was proceeding, suddenly I see Dilip walking towards me. His name, I think, was Dilip Jangiani. He was a Sindhi person. He was walking towards me with his wife with a broad smile on his face. He approached me and asked me, sir, do you remember me? I said, of course, I remember you. I said, what is all this? Things seem to have changed. You seem to have hit good days again. He said, sir, all thanks to you. I said, why? What did I do? He said, sir, that night, after you left, I was not very confident about what you are telling. I could not understand what you are telling, but somehow my wife convinced me that I should pursue this idea. I called all the family members, we had a discussion. And we realized that if we are going to wait for the past to come and create a success, that is not going to happen. There is no point in looking back and hoping success will repeat itself. The only way out was to look forward with the realization that I cannot do today's business with yesterday's tools and expect to be in business tomorrow. So we decided that we will take your suggestion. I sent my family members to all the restaurants, started speaking to the customers who are visiting them. I also read up as much as possible about combinatorics. And here you can see, today we are the topmost restaurant, and even Burp, which is a division of CNN, IBN, News 18, they have, graded us as the best multi-cuisine restaurant in Bangalore. My dear friend, this is the story of Chinese Hut. But not everyone is that lucky. Unfortunately, 70% of the companies close down in 10 years' time. And what is more, the reason why 70% of the companies closed down has mostly got to do with product and marketing. You can see here that 34% lack a product market fit. Does it mean that they started a company without doing adequate analysis and research into what sort of a product will fit the market? 22% closed down because they got marketing problems. They don't have a message to give to the market. The market doesn't accept the products. Even if there is a requirement, the message is inadequate, so they can't sell. And most companies, when they have problem of sales, there is manpower turnover, attrition is very high. 18% of the companies closed down because of attrition problem. With a poor product market fit, marketing problems, high attrition, there will be finance problems. 16% of the companies shut down because of finance problems. This accounts for 90% of the companies shutting down. Sad, isn't it? This is not just about startups. Even those companies who have reached a growth stage and a scale up, 75% never even return the money back to the venture capitalists who has pumped money into them. And 30 to 40% of the investors lose everything and go bankrupt. Why does all these things happen? To understand this, let us see what is the entrepreneurial journey. Every entrepreneur, when he starts his business, he's thinking that he is entering into a blue ocean. He has a very good idea. He has got an excellent idea. He has got an excellent product. He has got very good contacts in the market. Armed with all these three, he starts a business thinking that he is going to create a new market space with a unique product and enjoy unrestricted growth. He's absolutely sure that he's going to build a company, create enormous wealth, and enjoy unrestricted freedom and happiness for life. I'm sure all the business leaders who are here, they have all started a business only with this thought in their mind. Give a few months, and what do they see? They see that they are not in a blue ocean. They are in a red-blooded ocean. An ocean red with the blood of all the people who are doing business there, and they are bleeding every day. They thought that they are going to be the only person in the market, but now they realize that the market is crowded with hundreds of similar products or services, fighting with each other, struggling to attract the customer. Every day is a fight between cost and balance. Constantly, they have to cut their own pocket to give something to the customer, struggling to make ends meet as you watch your dreams go up in a smoke. You ventured out to catch a fish, and what did you invite? A shark. A shark called commoditization. Friends, how many of you have heard and are well aware, acquainted with this term, commoditization? Can anyone tell me, please? Can any one of you tell me what is commoditization?
You can unmute and please speak up.
Please, let's have an interactive session so that, we will all enjoy the
Can I?
time. Yeah, please, Mr. Raja.
This is commoditization is a product which does not have any specificity about itself. It's like going to a mandi and seeing sacks and sacks of rice, sacks and sacks of pulses, I assume.
Okay. Anyone else?
So there is no there is no USP.
Who is that? Mr. Sanjay?
Yeah, Sanjay.
Yeah, there is no USP, unique selling point. Okay. Anybody else?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
My name is Basim.
Yeah, Mr. Basim, tell me.
Commoditization it means the undifferentiated products.
Undifferentiated growth. Okay. Anyone else?
So
Yeah, good evening. This is Bala.
Yes.
My point of view of commoditization is like, just doing the selling. I'm in service industry, so how I treat it as like, it's just, giving a service without any value addition. Basic.
Okay. Okay.
And the only competition is pricing.
Excellent. Excellent. Now let us see.
Sir, commoditization, do you mean branding?
Commoditization is a process. Commoditization is a process whereby customer systematically eliminates everything you perceive as being different or special about your firm or offering, reducing you and your offering to the least common denominator, that is price. As someone rightly said now, commoditization is driving a product down to its least common denominator of price. No matter which part of the world you are doing business in, commoditization affects that part. And commoditization is a process. Mr. Prashad, can you please mute everyone? Yeah. Commoditization occurs in three ways. Number one, deterioration. Number two, proliferation. Number three, escalation. Let's first see how commoditization occurs in the process of deterioration. You have a product which is selling very well, it's a brand leader. It enjoys tremendous market share. It enjoys a good price. Suddenly someone comes with a very similar product at rock bottom price and kills the market. And before you can realize it, hundreds of other brands, clones, have flooded the market and your market flounders. The market share is gone up in a smoke, and now you are also driven down to playing the game by their rules. This is what happened with Surf Excel when Nirma launched it. Surf Excel was selling at the rate, Surf was selling at the rate of 15 rupees per kg. Nirma launched a detergent for 3.5, a very, very similar detergent, and knocked the carpet from below Surf. This is deterioration. And today you can see the market is full of undifferentiated detergents, all in the same category. The second is proliferation. You have one product, before you realize it, same price, same quality, same packing, same everything. Only thing is brand names are different. Hundreds flood the market. This is what happened with Bisleri. Today, every house is manufacturing mineral. Every locality has its specialty mineral water. And all of them are priced 10 rupees or 10 rupees 50 paisa per liter. That is proliferation. And the third is escalation. Here what happens? The same product is being given by hundreds of other marketers. The only difference is with every new offering, some extra feature comes. The prices operate in the same range. The features keep on improving, but the product is the same. And 90% of the features which are offered are never used by the people who purchase it. Classic example, mobile sets, handsets. Now, what we need to understand is that this commodity trap, why it occurs, is something which we need to understand. The commodity trap occurs because of too many clones and copycats. Somebody is doing some business. The neighbor sees, oh, this guy is making money. Let me also make the same thing. The same thing happens repeatedly, and you have hundreds of clones driving down the product life cycle. The life of a product has got tremendously reduced today because of clones and copycats. Why? Because there are too little buyers and too many sellers. So it has become a buyer's market. He decides what price he is interested in giving to you. You have got no say in it. The price keeps getting driven down. Both these happen mainly because there is lack of novelty in approach. Everybody is adhering to the same beaten path. Nobody is willing to take a different path and try something different. There is no brand loyalty because the concept of brand is slowly fading away. One classic example is the pharma industry, where today you have a term called branded generics. There are patented products, there are generic products, and there are branded generics. Even a brand has become a generic. And the main reason why all these things is happening is because of insufficient marketing, sales, and service competencies. There is severe insufficiency in the capability of companies to market, sell, and serve the customer. This is a very, very unfortunate thing. Majority of the companies are facing the commodity trap. It is not as if one or two are facing it. World over, 63% of all companies are facing commoditization of the product and services. And what is more, 54% realize that they have not yet taken action to escape the commodity trap. And the worst part of the news is that 84% of the companies in the low budget segment are the one who are attacked the most by this commoditization. No wonder 70% companies closed down within the first 10 years. 60% in the medium segment, and even in the premium segment, 20% are affected by this commoditization. That's all fine. These are all statistics. Yes, we know that businesses are getting into problem every day. Companies are closing down. I'm sure you have not come here to listen to me tell you this. You already know this. The question uppermost in your mind now must be, can we escape the commodity trap? If so, how to escape the commodity trap? There are two ways to escape the commodity trap. Let's see the first one. The first one is the option of playing by the rules. What does that mean? You compete within the commodity trap through price, which is what, incidentally, 90% of the companies do. 90% of the companies do this. They play by the rules. What do? They increase the size and realize economies of scale and fight the price war. They increase the size of the production, realize economies of scale, and fight the price war. And the second strategy is restructure and cut costs. We restructure the organization, hive away everything that we think is not necessary, be it processes or people, and we reduce the cost. Yes, Mr. Srinivasan, you have raised your hand. Mr. Srinivasan? Okay. So when you compete within the commodity trap, there are two things you can do: increase size and realize economies of scale. The second is restructure and cut costs. Thereby, you can play the commodity trap from within it. And all the 90% of people, companies who do this, they do one more thing. What is that? Can any one of you tell me what is the third thing which they do? They pray for a miracle. They pray for a miracle. Because when you play within the commodity trap, trying to reduce price by increasing production, economies of scale, or reducing manpower and trying to hive off, cost and compete with your, in the market, this is a losing game, because very soon you are going to paint yourself into a corner out of which there will be no answer. So praying is the third thing which they do. What is the second option? Change the rules of the game. Tackle all the three elements of the commodity trap and their indicators. What are the three elements? Customer, competition, and technology. Select and implement an appropriate set of counteractions so that you can escape the commodity trap. Let's see how to do it. Let us take two very commoditized industry and see how two companies have done that. Between the year 2005, after the year 2005, there was a huge upsurge in consciousness of the Indian public on personal care. The company which took maximum advantage of it was the Hindustan Lever Limited. They came out with a range of personal care products. The brands Axe, Dove, Rexona, it ruled the market. the deodorant market. They had 39.1% market share in the year 2008, and by 2010, because other companies have also entered, they came down to 30.4, but still they were miles ahead. It was at that time that there was a company by the name Paras Healthcare. It was the company of Darshan Patel's father. This gentleman is Darshan Patel. He sold off that company, Paras Healthcare, because pharma was another extremely commoditized market, and he decided to enter into the personal care market. He knew it was a very commoditized area, but he decided that he will enter into it. He studied the deodorant market, which was ruled by Hindustan Lever and other companies, and came up with Fog. Within 5 years, my dear friend, Fog had totally overshadowed every other deodorant and perfume in the market and become the ruling product in India. And even today, Fog is the number one. How did he do it? He found two aspects in the deodorants which are used at that time. The first one, they all contained gas. The perfume was suspended in the gas, and the spray along with the gas used to bring the perfume particles out. And because it was uncontrolled, it used to get exhausted very fast. These are the two factors which he observed, and this is how he capitalized it. He promised 800 spray per bottle in reply to their complaint of again finished, and for a long-lasting perfume. And how could he ensure that he will provide 800 spray as against a much lesser amount in the gas bottle, which could not be controlled? It was by a technology wherein he used a body spray based on liquid and not on gas. This way, he attacked the customer and technology. What was left over was competition. Watch what he did to the competition. Since there are a lot of foreign participants also here, I will explain this video where there are portions of Hindi also. After the video, please watch it.
There is no audio.
Just a minute, just a minute.
This is a black.
ये हैं गैस सिलेंडर्स और ये हैं परफ्यूम वाले गैस सिलेंडर्स। इंट्रोड्यूसिंग फॉग स्पेशली फॉर वुमेन। इसमें गैस नहीं, सिर्फ परफ्यूम लिक्विड। स्मेल्स रियली नाइस। Fog everyday perfume body spray.
In this, what he does is, in the opening portion of the video, they show a cooking gas cylinder. The lady comes and points out that this is a gas cylinder. Then she moves on to the perfume cylinder and says, this is a perfume gas cylinder. By juxtaposing a cooking gas cylinder with a perfume gas cylinder, she replaces the perfume gas cylinder in the mind of the customer with a gas cylinder, cooking gas cylinder. So every time the customer goes to buy, he only sees a gas cylinder because it is a gas-based perfume. That way he kills gas in the competition. Now watch the next one.
This is a black shirt with blue jeans. Here comes yet another black shirt with blue jeans. And yes, this is yet another black shirt with, you guessed it right, how old-fashioned. Fog scent. Makes even an ordinary black shirt with blue jeans special and fashionable. Fog scent, new fashion wear for men.
You see, Fog was positioned for the middle class segment who can't afford premium clothing and premium fashion wear accessories. So what it did with this advertisement was raise those middle class clothing of just an ordinary black shirt and a denim jean to a fashion wear. He made Fog a vehicle for moving up the fashion ladder. By both these, he killed the competition and ensured that he achieved a premium position in the marketplace. Now let us see what happened in another highly commoditized segment of the pharma industry. In pharma industry, only 3% of the products are patented products in this country, and more than 96.5% of the products are generic products. They are outside patent. That is why we have both the generic as well as the branded generics. And it is a dog-eat-dog world out in the pharma market. See what one company did. This is Kenilworth of 1990. In 1990 summer, Calcutta was a very, very humid place. And this is Kenilworth Hotel, where the Dermatological Society of India were having their conference. The doctors had all assembled there, and one key opinion leader among them was having Dobie itch. That means fungal infection caused by laundry clothes. He was scratching away and he was complaining to his people that he wished he had something which would absorb excess sweat, control itching, and treat fungal infection. Friends, we all know that men and women as a rule use talcum powder whenever they want to ensure that the sweat does not smell or cause them discomfort. But how many of us know that talc is an extraordinarily poor absorbent of sweat? We don't know this. But it is an extraordinarily poor absorbent of sweat. And it is only advertisements which has drove us to use talcum powder to combat sweat. One product manager was standing there. He heard this gentleman complaining and he decided to do something about it. He went back to Fitzpatrick Dermatology and found out a formula which will work excellently, and the outcome was absorb the antifungal powder. It contains an absorbent base along with dihydroxyaluminum allantoin, which relieves itching, and clotrimazole, which is a very, very powerful antifungal. And the outcome was absorb antifungal powder. What makes this product so very interesting is this product was launched in 1991 after this incident. And since then, it has been ruling the roost. It has already changed hands 3 times. It was launched by a company by the name Crossland Research Laboratories, which was purchased by Ranbaxy. Ranbaxy trashed most of the products of Crossland, but maintained Adsorb because of its leadership position. And then Ranbaxy got sold to Sun Pharma. They trashed most of the brands, but still retained this product because it is still ruling the roost. And Adsorb is the #1 antifungal dusting powder even today in the market, 30 years after it has been launched. They also addressed it because they addressed the customer's complaint. The customer wanted an adsorbent, something which will absorb the sweat. He wanted something which will suppress itching, and he wanted an antifungal. All the 3 are there. They addressed the technology. They came out with a powder base without a talc. And finally, the competition. They projected all the 3 in such a manner that it became the #1 product. Now, it brings us to one mute question now. What is it that made both these products capable of jumping out of this red ocean into a blue ocean? Why is it that 10 years down the line, Fog is still the #1 deodorant? And why is it that 30 years down the line, Adsorb is still the #1 dusting powder? The answer is that they were focusing on solutions and not at the problem. Most companies who try to play within the commodity trap are only addressing a problem. They are not looking for the solution. And what is the solution? Let's see. What I mean when I say that we have to look at the solution. The solution is value proposition. This term value proposition is by far the most abused term in management. People bandy it around like nobody's business. But today we are going to understand value proposition. Absolutely, we are going to understand what is value proposition. At the end of this session, you will be able to explain value proposition to anyone and everyone. So you have a customer. He has a job to be done. The job is accompanied by certain pains, and in the subconscious mind, he has certain gains associated in the completion of that job. These are the three aspects of the customer. What? The customer has a job to be done. There are certain pains associated with doing this job, and there are certain gains which is there suppressed in the subconscious, which he wants to access in doing this job. You as a corporate person, as a business leader, wants to produce a product which will service this job, relieve the pains, and help creation of the gains for the customer. And when you match the product with the customer, you have achieved value proposition. Now let us see what is this thing called jobs. There are 8 different verticals, vectors to this job. What is it? The first is there is a functionality of the job. Second, there is a social element to the job. Third, there are certain supporting factors. Supporting factors are as a buyer, as a co-creator, as a transferer. The job has certain significance for the person, and it is carried out in a particular context. Then the functionality, the social relevance, the supporting functions, the significance, and the context are taken care of, it will reach a position which is emotional in nature. It is at this point that the job is completed. Research has shown, behavioral psychologists and scientists have stated that people make decisions based on emotion and then justify them with logic. That is the reason why this statement is made. Each and every purchasing decision made by you or me or anyone on this earth, it is an emotional decision. Decisions are never logical. Once we make this decision, we try to explain it emotionally. Let us understand it in another way. This value proposition, we will understand it in another way. Your customer really wants something. What your customer really wants is one aspect of it. The second is the value your product provides. Your product provides a particular value, and your competitor's product provides some values. These are the 3 circles. The place where all these 3 circles meets, that is what your customer wants, how you fulfill that want, and in the same way, if your competitor is also fulfilling, that product is a commodity. This will now be driven only by price, because the offering of both you and your competitor is the same. Let us say you have a product and your competitor also has the same product, but the customer doesn't want it. Then no one is going to care about it. More often than not, we see companies fail because they start off with a product and start searching for a customer for it. When with the product you have and the product your customer has an overlapping, and the customer doesn't want it, then no one cares for it. And the third is, when your customer really wants something and your competitor is already fulfilling that, please avoid it, because the moment you do the same thing, you are creating a commodity. You will enter into a trap which initially may look lucrative, but in the long run will be suicidal. Most companies enter into the commodity trap by behaving like this. They see one of their competitor launch a product. They see apparently he's making some money. They also come out with it. They copy that product, they enter into the market, and now you have caught a tiger by the tail. You cannot leave it ever. Till either the tiger dies or you die, you will have to keep on holding it. Otherwise, the tiger will kill you. That's precisely what happens with most cases. Most low budget companies get into the commodity trap because of this only. They see a competitor make a bit of money. They clone the product and get into the commodity trap. Now let us understand it with an example. And when you have a customer who has a want and you have a product with services that want, but your competitor doesn't have it, you have created a value proposition. This is what we are going to now see. This is the place where there is money for you, there is a blue ocean for you. When you are able to identify your customer's need and you service that need, which others are unable to service, you have created a blue ocean by creating a value proposition. Let's see an example. Let us say you want to go somewhere. You are the customer. You want to travel to a place. Now, what is the job? What are the series of jobs that you have to do for doing that? You have to contact a good taxi. You have to wait for the taxi. You have to control the cost of the ride. You have to direct the driver to the destination because the driver does not know it. And you have to identify the place. And finally, you have to pay for the ride. Identify the place because even you might not know that place. And pay for the ride, you might not have the change or the driver might not have the change. All these are jobs which you have to do. And what are the pains associated with it? Cab availability is a pain. Booking in advance is a pain. Driver behavior is a pain because you don't know who the driver is. Vehicle route is a pain. Place identification is a pain. Safety is a pain because you might be traveling at an odd hour. Payments are an issue because you might not have the change. The driver might not have a change. And what are the gains which you would love to have for doing such a job? The gains are you would love to track the movement of the cab so that you know what is the route it is taking. You should be able to click or order, by one click you can order or cancel the cab. You should be able to secure the drive. You should know that once booked, the drive will definitely be available to you. The driver should be a trusted driver. There should be minimum interaction between you and the driver. The payment should be very easy. And above all, payment record should be available to you at all time because many companies, they demand that these things be given. Can any one of you tell me whether there is a product available in the market which satisfies all these customer needs? Do I see anyone answering? Yes, friend? Yes, Mr. Yes, Mr. Kodanraman, you're 100% right, Ola and Uber. But tell me, if I had asked the same question 10 years back, what would have been your answer?
No answer.
Not only no answer, you'd have thought I'm mad for thinking such a thing is possible. Right?
Yeah.
But it happened, didn't it? And with just one single thing, a mobile app, Uber created all these rides to suit every type of pocket, every type of requirement. It killed the pain, accurate time prediction, accurate payment. Driver rating ensures you get only the best drivers. 24/7, 365 availability. No bargaining. Shortest route because it is GPS enabled. And the grain creators, you can track your ride. Details are all available in one platform. You can go back and check which date, how much you paid for going from where to where. Automatic payment, efficient time management. You can rate your experience, easy cancellation. In fact, everything fits. This is called value proposition. The market today is an extremely dynamic marketplace. It's very, very dynamic. But even in this dynamic marketplace, commoditization is driving everything down. Uber was the first company to come out with shared experience in traveling. But then Ola came, and so many Lyft and so many other companies have come, and even local players have started in their own areas. That means even this has started. The commoditization has started, and the downward spiral has begun to make it unprofitable. Add to it our dear friend Corona. And you can well imagine what the situation will be. At this juncture, praying will not help. Doing things in the regular way will not help. You really have to understand and practice value proposition if you have to go on a growth trajectory. Yes, I said growth trajectory. I'm sure you all must be asking yourself, has anyone gone on the growth trajectory during this period? Is it possible? With the type of disruption which has happened because of COVID-19, is any growth possible? Yes, my dear friends, it is possible. To understand that, let us see a few things which COVID has done. What has COVID done? It has locked down the entire world. In 1918, when the Spanish influenza came, the first wave went off. Everyone thought it was over. The second wave came. It was a bigger killer than the first. Between the three waves, between 1918 to 1921, the Spanish influenza is supposed to have infected 500 million people and killed 50 million. Of the 50 million, 27 million were from India. I know healthcare has improved, and we are not at such danger, but still, it can affect us very badly. And you see, today, the news says the 9 districts in Rajasthan have gone into night curfew. 5 cities of Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh have gone into lockdown. And they say that the second wave has started. Delhi has even gone so far as to say that the third wave has started. Spain, Germany, France, and UK have already gone into lockdown. So nothing can be said. Lockdown is a reality. Second, work from home. 50% of the world population today is working from home, and this is threatening to be the new normal. Even if more number of people do not work from home, at least this 50% is guaranteed to continue to work from home. Personal hygiene has become uppermost in the minds of people. Our elders used to say, wash your hands, wash your feet, don't enter into the house unclean. We never listened. But today, the government itself is saying, wash your hands, 20 seconds. Every time you touch something, wash your hands. Don't touch your eyes. Don't touch your nose. Personal hygiene has become uppermost in the minds of every person. And social distancing. Man is a social animal, and he is being told not to mix with people, and he is trying his utmost not to do so. 4 major points which COVID has done. In all these 4 points, some company or the other has really shot up to the top. Let us see how lockdown has been utilized by a company to create a value proposition and zoom to the top of the table. Watch this video. I'm sure you all know this logo. Just do it. This is the slogan of Nike. They have shifted it to "You can't stop us." And by launching a campaign based upon the lockdown, incorporating 2 videos, they have recovered everything that they have lost. Just watch.
We're never alone. And that is our strength. Because when we're doubted, we'll play as one. When we're held back, we'll go farther and harder. If we're not taken seriously, we'll prove that wrong. And if we don't fit the sport, we'll change the sport. We know things won't always go our way.
And the world's sporting events are postponed or cancelled.
But whatever it is, we'll find a way. And when things aren't fair, we'll come together for change.
We have a responsibility
to make this world a better place.
And no matter how bad it gets, we will always come back stronger. Because nothing can stop what we can do together.
At a time when the whole world was scared, subdued, and shrinking, Nike came out and said, nothing can stop us. You are not going to beat us. If you stop us from playing outside, we will play inside. We will find a way of overcoming you. And they gave courage to the people. They touched that particular emotion, which is the strongest in a person, that is fear, and helped people come out of that fear. Identified themselves with courage, cooperation, and community. And what was the outcome? The outcome was that as of 31st August, please remember, Nike is an international brand and China went into lockdown in January. Since January, for nearly 6 months, the entire world was under lockdown at various stages. But in 3 months' time, they recovered their total losses by ensuring that 82% of their sales came from digital sales. The sales increased by 82%, digital sales it increased. And by the end of August 31st, the total revenue was only down by 1%. Whereas Nike used to sell from the store. John Donahoe has said, the CEO has said, that these are times when the strong can get stronger. He sent a message of strength and appealed to the emotion of the people and ensured that his sales was maintained. He added to it with the fitness app, which connected expert trainer network to give consumers help in staying active when they were cooped.
Hi guys, this is first edition of Nike Living Room Cover. I'm showing you how many apps I can do it in 45 seconds. Now show me what you got.
The first video ended with Ronaldo, and this living room challenge started with him. He sent a challenge to every individual on earth. He said, come on, beat me. Ensure that you also do 142. And you see, he got people, he rallied people to work on their health. And this ensured that Nike could recover their entire losses. This is called value proposition. Even they, like most companies, could have said, we will wait for the lockdown to be lifted and then strategize to see what can be done to pull up our sales. But they did not do so. They worked through the pandemic, used the pandemic to create a value proposition, identified the pains and address those pains, address those fears, and assure the people that we need not get bogged down. We can overcome it. And the people reciprocated by buying more and more Nike apparels and shoes. and brought up the sales. In just 3 months, Nike achieved a growth in the digital sales, which they had not achieved in 10 years. That is the effect of creating a value proposition by understanding the job, the pains, and the gains of your customer. Now let us go on to the next one, work from home. 50% of the world has moved to work from home. Let's see how a company used this work from home to nearly double or triple its revenue. This is a story of Manoj Khandelwal, the founder of Workshala. Workshala is a co-working space in Bangalore, which was founded by this young man in 2012. By 2019, 5,000 professionals were using his co-working space across Bangalore and other cities. And then COVID came and shut down everything. Manoj knew about what had happened in 1918, and he felt in his gut that this is not going to resolve itself that easily, and it could take time, 2 to 3 years, the same way as it did during the Spanish influenza. He checked up his strengths and what were the requirements of the public. He realized his strength was in creating an office space, because by providing a co-working space, that's what he was doing. He was providing an office working space away from the office for people who did not have an office. A similar situation had arisen because of work from home, and he started another company called Homescape. We started creating workstation at home. He had a B2B wing and a B2C wing. In the B2B wing, he contacted leading companies like TCS, Wipro, Infosys, and other companies, and started negotiating with them to provide those of their employees who had to work from home a workstation in their home. Complete, end to end. And for those of them who wanted to work from home by themselves and the company was not providing this service, he started visiting their particular residences, checking it out, doing a survey, and providing them this service. You'll be surprised to know that he has not just recovered what he lost, his revenue has more than doubled. That is how this young man used work from home. It is possible. He also did not sit down and say, let the companies open. People will come back to this co-working space. If he had done that, maybe he would have gone bankrupt by now. But he did not wait. Now let us see the third one, personal hygiene. The sector which was worst hit by personal hygiene is the hospitality sector. Hotels were shut down. And even when they opened about a couple of months back, about 3-4 months back, people were not willing to visit because they were scared. They did not know who had come and stayed in those rooms before them and what they would have carried with them. So people were scared. Even the traveling public was going in the morning and coming back in the evening. It was at this time that one particular company not just did a value proposition by which it recovered all the losses, it reached the top. Watch this. This is Ritesh Agarwal. And this is an interview of his which has come in the Wall Street Journal. I think you will all agree with me that no other journal comes higher than the Wall Street Journal where business is concerned. The OYO CEO says that the company's business has rebounded from Spring Nadir. And how did he do it? How did he do it against even 5-star hotels and premium star hotels? How did this small group of companies, the group did this? Let's watch this. Watch this video.
सही है मेन स्वीट इस पे फैशन थी बाथरूम एसी तो टेबल का बाहर
पहले स्प्रे फिर स्टे sanitized before your eyes.
The biggest question in the mind of the traveling public is the place where I'm going to stay, is the hotel where I'm going to stay sanitized and safe? By releasing this advertisement, OYO signaled that we will sanitize the place in front of your eyes. You will not have to worry about it. Friends, what happened was people started preferring OYO hotels and homes as against even 5-star hotels because they started feeling safe. Again, you see, touching the emotion of the individual. This is how the third aspect of Corona was addressed by a particular company. Even they could have waited for COVID to lift. They did not. They took the initiative, jumped into it, created a value proposition, and rose to the top. Now let us see the fourth, social distancing. One sector which is very badly hit by social distancing is the education sector. People have perforce to congregate in one place to study. Let's see how the higher education sector in the US and Europe, they got affected and what they did and what one particular consultant did to double his revenue during this period. Educational institutions, you see, for studying abroad, for higher education, one of the biggest requirements is the prerequisite to pass GMAT and GRE with very high score. This qualification test is a big problem. So educational institutions during this period, most of the premium education institutions waived GMAT and GRE. They said GMAT and GRE is not required because otherwise they would not be able to attract students. Then, because students were not allowed to come to the campus, they took their course online. But there was a problem in this. The problem is one of the offerings of these premium institutions is business study mission, where they take the students outside and they introduce them to various CEOs and business leaders and they interact with them and learn. So what these institutions did was they said that we will have a flexible business study mission. You can do your course online now without passing GMAT, GRE. If you have got good scores, we will give you admission. You can do it online. And then when you have the time after the lockdown, everything is lifted, after the COVID pandemic is settled down, you can come to our campus and the batch which is going at that time, we will send you along with that. By doing this, educational institutions decided that their flow of students did not get affected. And what was it for the students? For the aspiring students, it came as a boon. The benefit of a foreign degree without a qualification test. This qualification test is a very difficult test, combined with the fact that each and every student will have to have a 3 to 5 year work experience. It becomes a big headache. You have to study and work at the same time and score nearly 750, 760 out of 800 to get into a premium institution, which is very difficult. The benefit of a business study mission at your convenience. So you see, you can go and take the business study mission at your convenience whenever you want. That was the second advantage for the student. Most of these students, they were the one who lost the job during this restructuring during the COVID period. They became unemployed, but they could use this unemployment time to educate themselves. And this education would ensure that they could get a better prospect in the future. And finally, they could study from the comfort of the home. Both these were the advantages for them. The educational institution ensured that the students kept coming, and the aspiring students also ensured that they could go and study now. Most of them could not have otherwise. How did one consultant take advantage of it? See what it reads here. Ready to turn your dream into reality? They turned the problem of the COVID into an opportunity. We will get you into your dream school. Pay us only if you get into it. And they are the people who have been putting students already into HEC Paris, Yale University, Cambridge, Oxford, London Business School, Stern, all these colleges they used to put students in. They offered the students an opportunity to get into the college and then pay. How did they do this? Dream School Admit, they started giving free counseling and profile evaluation for all the students. Most of these students were the people who had given up on their dreams of studying abroad because of the GMAT, GRE. They said, you pay us 50% now, the rest on getting admission. Unlimited iteration of submissions. Normally, these consultants don't give unlimited iteration, maybe one iteration or two they give. These people said, we will do all the iterations for you. We will write the essays, LOR and everything for you. They did a free research for the college eligibility fit based upon their current performance. This is a very big thing because most students don't know where to see for the fit. And then they helped them with the scholarship. This was one of the posts which came in LinkedIn. One of the biggest challenges that MBA aspirants face is the GMAT GRE. Every year I come across so many brilliant candidates who fail to make it to the top B schools owing to an average GMAT GRE score. This year, due to pandemic, many prestigious schools such as MIT and Darden have waived off GMAT GRE requirement. If you are interested in applying this year without GMAT GRE score, please reach out to us. By posting this sort of a post in various places, various social media, they could attract the people. And here is one of the testimonies from a candidate who got into Darden. I got into Darden, one of the best schools in the world, that too without GMAT. This was only possible due to the flawless application with Arvind helped me in drafting. Go ahead with Arvind and make your dreams come true at Dream School Admit. Friends, these people could have waited. Many, educational consultants I have met have told me their borders have closed and their business is down. Borders are closed even for Dream School Admit, but their business did not close down. It grew. Some of you might feel that all these people are just plain lucky to have hit the right spot. The 1st century AD Roman philosopher scholar Seneca has said, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. When preparation meets opportunity. Today, you have the opportunity to prepare, to take your company on a growth trajectory with the ultimate guide to value proposition. Learn how to create a customer profiling so that you understand the correct job of a customer. What are his pains? What are the gains he desires? Map a product which will fit this customer's profile. Just doing this is not sufficient. You need to be able to demonstrate it to the world that your product has the value. And that has to be done through value messaging. You have to do the correct customer profiling. You have to do the correct customer value mapping, the value demonstration, value messaging. And then, why have you started a company? For wealth creation, right? So you should be able to capture the value also for yourself. Value capturing is as important as value creation. The journey from customer profiling through value mapping, demonstration, and value messaging to value creation, value capturing is what is the journey called value proposition. This 3-day course will teach you through insightful working how to create customer profile, how to create a product value map. Quality assurance is very important. You have to check what you have created. You have to check the fit. You have to know what are the pitfalls which you need to avoid. You have to know the characteristics of a great value. Because a value proposition has got 10 characteristics. You have to know all those 10 characteristics. And then you should know how to execute it by overcoming the constraints which you are going to face and accommodating your ambition of leadership. And finally, how to demonstrate all these things through 5 value messaging principles. We will see how this is done by seeing over 25 internationally successful brands. It is going to be a hands-on workshop. You will travel through the value proposition funnel. Today, most of you are in the red ocean. Learn the 8 dimensions of the customer's job, the 9 pointers of pain, which will help you identify the pain, the 9 pointers of gain, which will help you to take your customer's experience to a level of emotional satisfaction. 4 dimensions of products and services. Your product should have the 4 dimensions with 9 pain relievers and 8 gain creators. When you have traveled through this funnel, through all these 6 verticals, you will come out in the blue ocean. You will learn during these 3 days workshop the 9 pitfalls which you should avoid, how to avoid it. What are those pitfalls? The 10 characteristics of great value. Any value proposition should satisfy all these 10 characteristics. It should have these 3 fit. And then there are certain factors which you should be very careful of in your messaging. A very simple example is the Tata Nano. Tata started off wanting to produce an affordable car for the lower middle class and the middle class, so that, in place of a scooter, they could have a car. But there became a small problem occurred. Instead of the word affordability, they concentrated on the word cheap, and people shunned it totally. He created a factory which could produce 2,100 cars every month and ended up selling only 2 lakh cars, and he shut it down. You have to be very, very careful in your messaging so that such things do not happen. Value messaging is very important. And finally, you will learn this value messaging through 25 examples, the 5 principles of value messaging you will learn. When you are through with this, you will not say, I can't do this because. You will always be on a can-if mode. You will always be on I can do it. The family of constraints will not hold you back. It will help you merge with your ambitions and achieve what you want. Value messaging we are going to see and understand through various top brands like iPod, Gillette, Swatch, Salesforce, Amul, Close Up, Old Spice, Nivea, Uber, Byju's, the Tatas, and Evian. How these have done, and many more of those examples we will see. We will study these value messagings, how they have done it, why they could become a leader in their own domain. And then, my dear friends, it doesn't stop here. We come to the final one, value capturing. You will learn the 5 categories by which you can capture value and the 15 methodologies by which you will capture value. And all these will be given to you in the 3-day certificate course of 11th, 12th, and 13th. 7.5 hours of knowledge pack webinar. This will be followed by 3 months free consultation from Top League Training and Business Consulting. We will give you 3 months of free consultation to create value for your product, for your company, and for yourself. You are also a brand. You can also create a value and build your career. 3 months free consultation will follow this 7.5 hours webinar. We will have 3 get-togethers, 1 every month for the next 3 months, so that you can interact with all participants during that get-together and exchange ideas and experiences and learn from each other. You will get a certificate which certifies that you have done this course. That will be invaluable in reminding you that you know what is value proposition and you can apply it to build your organization and yourself. And finally, the entire video recording of the course will be given to you so that you can refer back to it whenever you want. All this comes to participants from India at just 3,500 rupees inclusive of GST, and for foreign participants at $69. You will get a certificate on completion of the course, 3 get-togethers with workshop participants with Q&A, free consultation for 90 days, and the video recording of the entire program. For this, all that you need to do now is click on the PayU and PayPal link, which is going to be posted in the chat box. Register by paying just 250 rupees now or $10 now. You can register. The balance amount is to be paid by 9th of December and join the course on 11th, 12th, and 13th of December. The course fee for Indian participants is 3,500 rupees, and the course fee for foreigners is $69. You can register now by paying 250 rupees for people from India and $10 for participants from abroad. Please register now. Click on the PayU and PayPal link and make the payment. Thank you, my dear friends. I'm ready to take questions that you may have. Mr. Durga Prasad, have you pasted?
Yeah. One I've pasted, second one I'm pasting just now.
So the PayU and the PayPal links have been pasted in the chat box. Those interested in registering can register now. Indian participants can pay 250 rupees and book your seat. Participants from outside India can book their seat by clicking on the PayPal link and paying $10. Any questions, please? I'm open to take any questions that you may have. Please unmute yourself and ask the questions.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Can you please explain of value proposition? I understood the theoretical which you have explained just now with an example of agriculture or farm fresh produce. Quoting that as an example, how do we execute value proposition? I mean, considering COVID.
I will explain the difference between value creation and value proposition where agriculture is concerned, but the details of how to capture it with examples will have to be done only during the course, madam. May I know what your name is?
Lata.
Yes, Miss Lata.
Sure.
The course will discuss in detail how value capturing is done.
Okay.
The value proposition, value creation, and value capturing, I will explain in the agriculture. You see, when you plow a field and sow the seed, it is value creation.
Okay.
Harvesting is value capturing. Because if you don't harvest the produce, what was the use of sowing the seeds and raising a crop?
Okay.
So you see, there is a lot of difference between revenue model and value creation, value capturing. People misunderstand revenue model and value capturing.
Yeah, even I had the same confusion.
Yeah, I can understand. See, revenue model is how you earn in your business is a revenue model. Then you might be asked, then you might ask me, what is value capturing then? I'll give you an example. You see, textile is a highly commoditized industry, right?
Yes.
The problem is cotton, let us say cotton clothing is there. It's a highly commoditized industry driven by price. Supposing you have to come up with an automatic loom which will increase production.
Okay.
What will happen?
I mean, the automatic loop minimizes labor and the yield or the production is high.
So automatically, you see, production will become high?
Yes.
Now, every company purchases this automatic loom so that they can achieve economies of scale, right?
Yes.
That's what will happen?
Yes.
Then what will happen? What is the next logical step which will happen in the industry?
The layoff of the labor.
You look at it, don't look at it from the layoff of the labor angle.
The pricing issue.
Okay.
What will happen is the prices will further go down.
Prices will go down, yes.
Because the population is the same. The production has got scaled up because of automatic loom. Already it is a commoditized industry and pricing is under stress. Where 1 meter of cotton cloth was there, now 100 meters are there.
Yes.
Where 10 people were manufacturing 1 meter each leading to 10 meters, now 10 people are manufacturing 100 meters each leading to 1000 meters. Consumption is less than 10 meters, but you are having more than 1000 meters. Prices will get into severe stress there will be further commoditization, further driving down of price, and your entire revenue model will collapse.
Oh, okay.
You understand? See, value capturing is a very, very tricky thing. You have to do it with very good understanding.
Okay.
That is the ultimate in business. If you are not going to be in a position to capture value, your business is not going anywhere.
Okay.
You are going to slowly paint yourself into a corner out of which you will not be able to come out. And you see, many people do this in a very short-sighted manner.
Okay.
See, business people, what do they understand by market survey? They understand by market survey, studying a competitor, what he is doing. You see, when a product sells 15 units, you immediately gravitate towards it to take a couple of units from him, right?
Yes.
But you are looking only at the 10 units he's selling. You are not looking at the pain behind the 10 units. In selling the 10 units, the pain which that entrepreneur is facing, you don't know.
Okay.
When you go and take a share of that 10 unit, what has happened is you have created a bigger problem for yourself, because that person at least has 10 units. You are now having to take 2 units from him, and the pain for you will be much more than what pain he is facing.
Okay. Got it.
You see, we will be discussing all these aspects of value proposition in our main course on 11th, 12th, and 13th of December.
Okay.
At least at the end of that course, you will know very clearly what exactly is servicing a customer, how to approach a customer and service him so that you can continue to live in a blue ocean and not be affected by a bloody red ocean. You have started a business to lead a happy life, not to suffer, not to keep awake at night. And keeping awake at night, insomnia is,
stressed
it has
out.
become the right of every entrepreneur. He doesn't sleep.
Thank you, sir, for clarifying.
Most welcome. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. I have a question. This is Kamlesh.
Yes, Mr. Jha.
Yeah.
What's your name, Mr. Jha?
Okay.
Yeah,
so I'm using some different ideas. So yeah. So you gave one example for, in education sector for highly branded institute like MIT. But how one can create more value proposition for non-branded or about to be branded training or certification? I mean, a small educational institute or certification kind of thing.
See, the process is the same. The process is the same for everyone. The pressures are more on big institutes, pressures are less on small institutes. Who was it? Mr. Jha, what did you say your name is?
Kamlesh.
Mr. Kamlesh, there is nothing like a small institute or a premier institute. There is only something called your commitment to giving service to your customer. If you are able to understand the type of customers who are visiting you, who are coming to you, you will definitely be able to create a proposition, value proposition for them, a value for them, which will be cherished by them, and they will be with you. And that is how companies grow. MIT did not become MIT overnight. Oxford did not become Oxford overnight. Everything starts as a startup and then builds the brand. And the brand is an emotional content. Definitely, I can tell you, once you understand how to create a value proposition, how to profile the customer, how to map your product, how to drive towards the, the pains, how to relieve those pains, all these factors, when you learn, when you become an expert in it, you will definitely be able to create the value proposition for it. Don't worry about it. You will definitely be able to do it. That's an assurance I am giving you.
Thank you, sir.
It only depends upon your commitment. The problem is, like Shakespeare said, the fault lies not in our stars, dear Brutus, but in ourselves that we are underlings. We blame the stars for our incompetency and lack of conviction towards doing something.
True.
Yes, anyone else?
Arun sir.
Yes.
So this is Manmohan.
Yes, Mr.
And
Manmohan.
sir, I just wanted to know, we are manufacturing some product which is being tendered by some government sectors.
Okay.
So in that scenario, how can we create value proposition when something has to be customized and sold to the government? And
Okay.
I think myself to be in the Red Sea position because there's cutthroat competition out there. How can I myself bring me out of my company out of this situation?
Mr. Manmohan, I will tell you one small incident.
Yes,
What
sir.
you are telling is that you are a downstream vendor manufacturer for somebody, right?
Right, sir.
That's what you are telling.
Yeah.
75% of industry are downstream vendors for big industries. Am I right or wrong?
Right, sir.
Then you see, is it possible for them to create a value proposition?
Yeah, it seems from my position, it seems it is difficult.
It is not difficult. It is very possible. I will give you the example of one company which by application of value proposition became the elder brother in an industry in which it had no recognition.
Right.
Have you heard that? Now I'm going to ask you a question. Don't laugh at me, okay? Promise you will not laugh at me?
No, sir, I will not.
Okay. Have you heard the name of Intel?
Yeah.
You must be wondering who hasn't.
Yes, sir.
Every computer has one sticker called Intel inside. Am I right or wrong?
Right, sir.
You know, this Intel inside, Intel used to make microchips, right?
Yeah.
There were other companies like AMD, Sun Microsystem, Motorola. All these people used to make microchips and Intel was one of them.
Right.
And they were being bullied around by the big companies like IBM and others. One particular product manager of Intel by the name Carter, he approached Andy Grove, who was the CEO of Intel, and said, why don't we brand it? He looked at him as though this fellow is drunk or has smoked something. At that time, they were, manufacturing chip number 286, and 386 had just then been released, but there were no takers for 386. This boy, he forced Andy Grove to give him an opportunity to brand it. Rest is history. Intel has become the elder brother in the microchip industry, and every computer is running behind it because today, people don't look at whether it is a Dell or a Microsoft or a HP or an Apple. They see what is a chip inside. They see or not?
They do, sir.
And microchip is the most commoditized material in the computer industry. The computer industry itself is a massive commoditized industry. And you see what Intel has done? Why can't you do it? What is stopping you? See, the only thing which stops people from achieving what they want to achieve is their false convictions. Nothing else.
Yes, I do agree, sir. But in a scenario where something has to be tendered, procured from the tendering thing, so how can our brand can affect this, sir?
What is the name of your company?
This is Advanced Power, sir.
Why can't you make Advanced Power a brand? The product they may ask.
Right.
They may tell what product they want, but why can't Advanced Power become such a brand that everybody will come to you for that product? Branding need not necessarily be of a product only. Today, if Colgate launches a toothpaste, you go and try it because of the name of the toothpaste or because of Colgate? Which one?
Because of Colgate.
Okay. Now I'll ask you another question. Take 2 minutes and answer me. What is the name of the product which comes by the brand Band-Aid? What is Band-Aid?
It's a product, sir.
What is Band-Aid? See?
It is a medicated dressing.
It is not a medicated dressing. Try. It is an adhesive dressing. And you know how many different types of Band-Aids are there? So you see, you can create a brand. Advanced Power can become such a brand that the name Advanced Power will sell.
Right.
You see, value proposition can be of an individual. Steve Jobs is a brand, isn't it?
Yes.
Then you see, you can become a brand. Your company can become a brand. You know, you just imagine, supposing the government were to tender for automobile parts and the Tatas were to bid for it. What do you think are the chances of Tatas getting the order?
Huge chance, sir. They would definitely like to get the work done from Tata, but due to protocols and everything, they have to do the tendering, and some other might get the order.
See, that's all fine. That's all. See, all these if and buts. Your sentence started with they would like to get the job done by Tatas. Why?
Because of the value proposition, because of
That's
brand.
all.
Sir.
Brand.
Yeah.
And what is brand? Brand is created only because at some stage they have created a value for that name Tata. They stand for some value, right? Why can't Advanced Power become such a value?
Never thought from that.
I'll tell you one thing. There is no end to ifs and buts. You know, there is a poster which shows a toad hanging by 2 trees. It has got its 2 legs, back legs on the 2 trees, hind legs, and 2 forelegs on 2 trees. And beneath it is written, progress depends upon the unreasonable man. The reasonable man compromises with everything. Do you want to compromise?
No, sir.
Then you learn value proposition and proceed forward. That's all.
Great, sir.
You see, there is no other choice.
Yeah.
On one side, commoditization, the other side, Corona. Now you have got, on the third side is competition. What will you do? You got 2 choices. You can sit and rue your destiny that you are born at such a time, doing business at such a time when situation is like this. Or you can say, I am going to utilize this opportunity to build my organization. Remember one thing, when a hole is being dug, people only look at the hole being dug. Corona is digging a hole. But when the hole is being dug, don't forget that a mound is also being formed beside the hole. All the dirt from the hole is being taken out and made a mound. Look at the mound, that mound of opportunities which is there. If you can use a fraction of that mound of opportunity, you will get across in your life.
Good, say, sir. Thank you, sir.
Most welcome. Most welcome.
Sir, can I ask you one thing, sir?
Who is it?
Sir, Sanjay.
Yes, Mr. Sanjay.
Sir, we have a company which is named as Expressonic Global Solutions, and we are into process automation. Okay. It's a software, and we have got it patented in November last year. And after that, of course, this COVID and all this started. So now the thing is that all this software thing, they don't have much life, you know, so somebody is going to come up with that and similar.
Commoditization.
Yeah. So, but we have an advantage that we have moved into the market first, because in this space, nobody else has done it like this. So
You have the first mover advantage.
yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
First. So, sir, with your, I mean, sir, knowledge, like how much time we have so that we can use this, and then later on, maybe we may be gobbled up by some big company. It's possible.
That will never happen.
Okay.
You first remove that from your mind, Mr. Sanjay.
Okay, sir.
You see, destiny plays a very dirty trick on people. What you think will happen will only happen. Now, I will ask you one question. Do you know how many editions of Apple, mobiles have come out in the last 10 years?
I don't know, sir. I mean, maybe
19 editions of Apple have come out.
19. Oh.
19.
Okay.
At the rate of 1.5 to 2 editions per year.
Per year. 2 editions per year. Oh.
You know, there is a theory called fail fast, fail safe.
Yes.
This is to signify iteration. You are into software. You must be knowing this very well.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Iteration is the rule of the day, and iteration is all about value proposition. How will you iterate if you don't know what value to provide to your customer?
Sir, but the only thing when you mentioned...
There is no but, Mr. Sanjay. The moment we say but, what we are telling is, I am not interested in doing it.
No, sir, you are saying, mentioning about that 90% that proliferation, adding, I mean, 90% features are unused in that proliferation. So
why is 90% feature unused? I'll ask you a question, Mr.
Because
Sanjay.
we are doing iteration, we are adding more features.
Okay, now I will help you understand it this way. Okay, there is a lock and there is a key.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you have a lock which is locked, the key is lost. How much trouble are you in?
Quite a big trouble. I mean,
no, you are in very less trouble. All that you need to do is find a locksmith. He will make a key and give you. How long do you think it will take? Every roadside corner has one.
Okay.
Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Now, let me reverse the situation. You have a key and you have to find a lock. Kya hua, bhai?
Somebody has picked up the lock and gone.
Yeah, now find the lock. Can you?
No.
That is precisely the position people get into. You know what I mean? When you say but, you are holding a key in your hand. That is your product. You are searching for a lock. But when you say, I am going to, work on the customer and give him what he wants, you have a lock and you are looking for a key. The customer is the lock.
Okay, sir. Okay.
You have patented something. Now ask yourself, you patented something based upon the requirement of somebody else, or you patented something because that is what you had in your hand. If you have a product and you are going searching for a market, you are in trouble.
Understood.
You have people there, they have some pains. Prepare a product for them. Identify the pain. Even software industry, which part of the industry, what segment you are servicing? What is the pain of the segment? What gain that segment aspires for? How you can look into the future of that segment, what you can provide them which will benefit them. If you proceed keeping this in mind, you see, this value proposition is a step-by-step process by which you will be able to create heaven on earth. I'm not at all exaggerating, let me tell you.
Sir, is there a way to know how much window of opportunity we have? I mean, how many years we have this advantage?
The window of opportunity depends upon your lifespan.
Okay.
Till your last breath you have. Beyond that, don't bother about it. Somebody else will bother about it.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
I'm 63. Do you think I have a window of opportunity? I'm continuing.
Since we are in the software, that's why I asked you, sir.
Arre Baba, I'm in the hardware, then what does it matter? Somewhere we are now.
Okay, sir. Right. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else? Any other questions?
Sir, one more. Sir, will this be repeated sometime? Because I am already having so many courses now. I am already enrolled. So is
This final course is on 11th, 12th, and 13th of December.
No, it will be repeated
You
again.
see, now I'll tell you, Sanjay, it's something like this. People do things which they think is a priority. If you think this is a priority, you will find a way of doing this course. If according to you it is not a priority, you will find an excuse for not doing the course. Whichever way it is fine. You see, opportunity, when it knocks, you can either complain that it's making a noise or you can go and open the door. The choice is yours. But whichever way it is, you will definitely succeed. Don't worry about it.
Okay, sir.
Absolutely don't worry about it. You will definitely succeed. The course is on 11th, 12th, and 13th. I would love for you to come and join the course and learn about value propositions, because software industry is one of the most commoditized industry in the world.
Yes.
The product lifespan is extremely short. You may patent anything, but people will find a way of circumventing it and creating something equally good, better, or the same way, the same totally.
Yes.
Okay. My best wishes to you. Don't worry. Corona can do nothing. Don't worry about it.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
All
sir.
the best. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Any other questions, please? Anybody else has got any other question? No questions?
Good evening. Thank you very much for your presentation.
Oh, Mr. Akram?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Akram. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for coming.
Sri Lankans can't pay by PayPal. So just share the account number.
I will do one thing. I will send you my account number along with the SWIFT code. You can pay in it. Okay. I will send you. Give me your website, your WhatsApp number. I will send it to you.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Anyone else? My only request is all of you, please put your email ID and WhatsApp number so that we can reach out to you in case it is required.
Sri Raja has raised his hand.
Yes, Mr. Raja.
Yes. Mr. Arun, it was a very nice evening. 2 hours spent very wonderfully.
Thank
you.
you.
A lot of insights. It's like going back to my school days in terms of brushing up skill sets and everything. Thanks once again.
Thank you.
An opportunity to catch up and take it forward. And I thank Manoj also for getting all these things coordinated through the BJP ecosystem. Thanks once again. Very nice interacting with you, gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Raja. It was very nice having you with us. Keep in touch.
Sure, will do.
Thank you. I saw Mr. Jagir. Is he still present here?
Yeah, he's just left. He's sent me a message. He is registered.
Oh, thank you. I would have loved to have him say a few words because he's a big business leader. And it would be very nice if he could have. I can see Srinivas Alakonda is there.
Jagir is from Calcutta.
Yeah, I know. He's from Calcutta. He's a chartered accountant.
Arun, Jagir has in fact left a very appreciative message in the chat box.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hey, this is Neeraj.
Yes, Mr. Neeraj.
Hey, I just wanted to, I think you mentioned, though I joined late because I was not aware. So you just mentioned that, there could be a value proposition in the personal career or personal branding as well.
Yes.
So can you briefly, throw some light on how the branding, the personal branding would be different from a product branding, and what are the factors that someone needs to take right? When you are trying to create a value proposition for your own career. I mean, if you're not running a company or not into some product.
Neeraj, is it?
Yeah.
Neeraj, how old are you?
46.
46. So what are you doing currently?
I'm into IT.
IT. Now, what do you do in IT?
I work for a company.
You're being pleasantly vague. Who do you report to? What is the position of the person you report to?
So I manage application managed services for a IT company. I report to I report.
Why I asked you this question is, Neeraj, who is your customer, Neeraj?
I mean, mostly European and US clients.
No. They are the customer for your company.
Mm-hmm.
Who is your customer?
Okay. So maybe the person I'm reporting to.
Absolutely. Now, apply all these principles on him. What are his pains? What is his job? What does he want from you?
Mm-hmm.
What will make him feel that he has gained something? What services do you professionally need to fulfill so that his pains will be addressed? How can you become the go-to person for him and for all your superiors? Once you have a clear-cut idea about it, you will be able to create a value proposition, a brand image about yourself. And then you will have to demonstrate it to them through action and through messaging. While doing that, you should be conscious of the fact that you have to capture value for whatever you have done. That means what? Your career should progress. You should get increments. You should be recognized. You should feel satisfied. Your work-life balance has to improve. You understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This is what the whole process is. You see, value proposition, once you understand how to create it, it will help you in every aspect of life. In family life, you are married?
Yeah, of course.
Who is your customer?
Okay. My wife and children. I got it.
You understand what I mean?
Yep.
So you see, all round, it is a way of thinking. It's a very scientific thing. You see, ultimately, everything boils down to emotions. We do everything because of an emotional drive and then justify it by giving a logical explanation for why we have done it.
So in your course, you are going to talk about this aspect as well, right?
I'm going to talk about how to create value proposition. I'm going to talk about what are the various jobs of a customer, how to identify the pains of a customer. Because you see, no one is going to come and tell you I have this pain. Will he tell you? Will your boss tell you what pains him? He will not tell you. Will your boss tell you?
Yes. Yeah, sometimes.
No, they don't tell. Don't get carried away by words. Remember Shakespeare, tell me not in mournful numbers, life is but an empty dream, life is earnest, life is real, things are not what they seem. Don't ever get carried away by what people say. People say things for just the heck of it. You will have to find out. And there are ways of finding out. There are ways of finding out.
Great, thank you.
And that is what we will be teaching during these 3 days program. How to move towards a customer's pain, how to identify the hidden gains which he is carrying in his subconscious mind. Right?
Thanks.
I'll ask you a simple question. You are married, you have a child?
Yes.
How old?
19 years.
19. Okay. So do you, a boy or girl?
I mean, one boy, one girl.
Okay. Do you remember purchasing a toy for your boy or girl when they were 6 or 7 months old?
Don't remember exactly.
Okay, supposing you had purchased a toy when they were 6 or 7 months old, what would have been your thought process when you are making that purchase?
Sorry, can you repeat, Raman?
If you had made a purchase of a toy when the child was 6 or 7 months old, what would have been your thought process when you made that purchase?
Our thought process just out of emotion.
Because you see, the child doesn't know what it wants.
Yep.
So when you are making that purchase, you are making a purchase because it is giving you satisfaction. Now you are doing a job as a buyer. So you see, like this, we will be studying various aspects of the jobs, the 8 aspects of the job, and how it all reaches to a culmination in the emotional level. How to identify the pains which reduce that emotional content or increases that emotional content, and how to increase the gains which will make you feel elated by your action. And then how to map a product which will fit into it. All success stories are because of an accurate fit between the customer and the product. You as an individual can also create a brand of yourself. Remember one thing, a product does not sell, a perception sells.
Yeah, true.
So how do you create that perception? That's what is the course about. Value proposition is a scientific course. It is not something which is not scientific, because each and every step, every action will take you one step forward towards creating a product which will take you beyond the marketplace.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other questions? Don't hesitate in asking questions. You have spent 2 hours of your time with me, and you are entitled to get your return on it.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, Mr. Basim.
Sir, I enrolled in the course.
Where are you from, Mr. Basim?
I am from Egypt, basically, but resident in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, you are from Saudi Arabia. Okay, very nice of you. Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Sir, we also suffer in the pharmacy. I'm from a pharmaceutical background. I am from a pharmaceutical background.
Okay, great.
We also suffer in this market from Me Too product.
Generics.
Yeah, generics, Me Too products. To know how to create value by value proposition, this is my goal. So thank you for this course. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. You're most welcome. Thank you. Have you given your WhatsApp number and email ID, Mr. Basim?
Yes, given.
Sure, sir. Sure.
We will reach out to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, can I ask one question, sir? Sanjay again.
Yes, Sanjay.
Because this is based on the other gentleman who was talking about the personal brand.
Yeah.
And he is also from IT, and Steve Jobs is also from IT. So Steve Jobs' case, is it Apple or that Steve Jobs' personal and product, both brands were simultaneously built, or one is complementing the other? Or they are two independent things between Steve Jobs and Apple products?
Steve Jobs not only created Apple, he created one of the world's topmost animation studios.
Pixar also.
How did he do that?
No, but
he created literatures. There is a book written on him, Presentation Secrets of Steve Jobs. Have you read that book?
I've heard of it.
See, Steve Jobs was a phenomenon. And you see, Steve Jobs is the only maybe CEO who walked around in jeans and t-shirt.
Yes.
And people respected him. You see, his partner stole from him and he forgave him because that partner was a brilliant guy, Steve Wozniak.
Yes.
Okay, you see, when we discuss people like Steve Jobs and Apple, we can't say who created whom, and that's not necessary. You understand what I mean?
So, like anything can come earlier. Either Steve Jobs can come earlier, or the product can come earlier.
You see, it is we, the customers, who create a brand.
Okay.
The brand owners only create a value.
Okay.
And the value that Steve created was being different.
Okay.
He concentrated on, customer experience. His idea was how to create a better experience for the customer. That was his only obsession.
Okay. Okay, sir.
We are going to be discussing a couple of products of Apple in the main course and how they have communicated their value and how they have reached the top of the ladder. You see, this program, which is planned for 11th, 12th, and 13th, will not only discuss various methodologies, we will be discussing how those methodologies have been applied by various companies to reach the top. It is going to be an experiential program. We are going to be talking about how to create experience. If I were to tell you, mango is a great fruit and you don't even know what a mango is, will you be able to appreciate it?
No.
Can a blind man understand what a red light is?
No.
So you see, there are certain things which has to be experienced.
Okay. Yeah.
And by experience, by seeing how this has happened, only you will be able to appreciate how to replicate it in your life. Because Sanjay, if you don't benefit in the way of being able to do what you learn in your personal life, what is the use of learning?
Correct. That's true.
Let us assume you are in the middle of Sahara Desert with no water all around you and I present you with a book on swimming. What is the use?
Yeah.
I should first provide you with a swimming pool there, with swimming trunks and a coach, and then push you into the water and give you the book. Now it will be of some use.
Yes.
That's what we are going to do on 11th, 12th, and 13th.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
See, we have a group called Value Proposition Forum already formed where people who are going to be attending the program or who intend to attend the program are already in that forum. And I keep posting various topics on value proposition, brands, so that, there will be a plowing, the field will be fertile before the course is conducted. I'm very serious, Sanjay, that people should learn what is value proposition because that is the only solution given the situation that the world finds itself in.
Yes.
Simply praying for something will not help. You will have to learn what it is, how to do it.
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Give
Hello,
your
sir.
email ID and WhatsApp number, Sanjay.
Sir, I have
reach
given.
out to you.
I have given.
Thank
In fact, we are personally connected also.
How?
I like you. I got your. I used to get your messages, and I have responded it today. Just now, I responded.
Acha, I will check out.
I'll tell you, sir. The last 3 digits. I'll just check unless it should not.
866.
1 minute.
Mr. Sanjay has already attended one of our introductory webinars.
No, sir. I have not attended.
You have not attended.
No. This is the first time.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Zafaruddin or someone wanted to ask something.
Yes.
Yes, Mr.
Sir, I'm from Sri Lanka.
Okay.
Yes, I am on to business consulting, where
Yes.
I help SME sectors to increase profit by reducing the cost.
Oh, you are into Gemba.
I don't know. Right. So now under present situation, all the companies are finding it difficult. Everybody wants to increase their profit. So how can I create a value proposition?
Definitely, as a consultant, you are the first person who should be interested in creating a value proposition, because your value is creating value for others. Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
You have to create value for others. So you have to first demonstrate and message that value to them. Only when they see that you can create value for them will they come to you. And
Yes.
you see, Mr. Zafardeen,
yes,
COVID is something which is not going to spare anybody. Government can lift lockdown. COVID has not lifted the lockdown. And economy has to run. Sooner or later, people will have to realize that economy has to run, and only the resilient, the people who understand how to create value and message it will be able to survive. Others will perish. And a new set of entrepreneurs will rise out of this graveyard. Please believe me, that's going to happen.
Exactly.
And that set of entrepreneurs will be prepared with all these armamentarium to be able to battle in the marketplace. You see, when Darwin said, one of Charles Darwin's quote is very, very misused. He never said survival of the fittest. He never said that. He said only the most adaptable will survive. Are we adaptable? The adaptability under these circumstances is our ability to create value out of a situation that we find ourselves in. The situation is not going to change. The situation remains the same.
So you mean to say the same, this online teaching will continue?
Yes.
In spite of after...
You tell me one thing. You tell me one thing. Why should people go back to the classroom?
To learn.
Why, when they are doing the same thing online, why should they go back now? When you have found a better way of doing it, do you realize because of work from home, people are working more than when they used to work from the office?
Yes, but there is no time limit.
There is no time limit, number one. Second thing, when you are in the office, you are calculated by output. Now you are being calculated by outcome. Which is better?
Outcome is better.
You mean to tell me industrialists will not wake up to this fact? And the third thing, when you are in the classroom, half the time you could be chit-chatting and not learning. But now at home, there is no scope for that.
Yes.
And ultimately, when the exam comes and your understanding is tested, what does it matter whether you went to the school and studied or you are studying from online? The world is going to wake up to the changes, Mr. Zafardeen. It is inevitable that is going to happen. And once that happens, all of us will have to change according to that. You see, the new normal people are talking. There is no demarcation that today is the old normal, tomorrow is the new normal. No, it will slowly slide into it. You will not even know that the new normal has taken place.
Yes. Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Most welcome.
Sir, I think I'm asking too many questions. This is one question from my
ask Sanjay. What is there? अरे सवाल ही तो पूछ रहे हो, पैसा थोड़ी मांग रहे हो.
So this is for my colleague. He's in MLM. He's in MLM, sir.
Multi-level marketing.
Yes, sir. So will it help him? That's what. But it's a good MLM. So whether
you see, there is nothing called good MLM, bad MLM. It is one of the type of doing business.
Yes, sir.
If you do it well, you earn money. You don't do it well, you don't earn money.
So can this be applied there? That's what I'm saying.
Yes, why not? See, value is something you can create anywhere.
Okay.
See, what is value? You want something very badly. I have that product with me.
Okay.
Let us say you wanted 20%. Now, what is the value of this product?
20%.
If you wanted 50%,
Yes.
the value goes up. If you wanted 100%, the value has become very high. And if you think that you can't live without my product, I can charge you whatever I want.
Okay.
So you see, creating value is what value proposition is. Only thing is, you see, value proposition has got 5 different steps. One is understanding the customer. Second is creating the product to suit the customer's wants and needs and pains. Third is how to demonstrate that you have created it. Fourth is how do you message it so that it attaches and touches his emotions. Fifth is how do you capture for yourself a portion of that value so that you also benefit. This is value proposition.
Okay, sir.
This is a process. This is a scientific process. And that's what we are going to be teaching on 11th, 12th, and 13th. This scientific process.
So basically, it can be applied to relationships also.
Everything. That's why I said the course name is Value Proposition, the secret ingredient for your product, company, and career.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Most welcome. Most welcome. So if it is okay, can we break for the night?
Yes, sir. Good night, sir.
Good night. Thank you. Thanks a lot. I hope everyone has put their email ID and WhatsApp number in the chat box.
Yeah, most of them.
Okay. Thank you. Good night.
Everyone.
And thank you, Durga
Thank you,
Prasad,
sir.
sir.
Good
Also.
night, sir. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you, Mr. Durga Prasad. Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you.
I'll be adding most of the people whose name and WhatsApp number has come in the value proposition group. I hope you don't have any objection to that.
No, sir. Not at all.
Thank you. Bye. Good
Bye.
night.
Good night.